Welcome back to the Buzz and Beard Podcast. It's your boy Connor, one of 3 podcast boys. Today, I'll be talking about my top 5 best free agent signings of the NFL, worst free agents of the NFL, or worst signings of the free agent NFL, and then some steals. This is going to be after Carson's trade video for the NBA, so you guys get a little both of NBA and NFL from this, from these past couple weeks. But other than that, moving on, my best signing of the NFL free agent so far is William Jackson, signing a 3-year, $40.5 million deal with the Washington football team. I think this improves the defense a lot, especially with Kendall Fuller getting old. That 1-2 combos, I think, still going to be amazing. Chase Young, Ryan Kerrigan, their D tackles are doing amazing. Just that whole team, if they can get that offense rolling, because William Jackson's fast, I think he has the potential to be top 10 cornerback in the league. And now he's got the money that shows it, you know. But if they can get the offense going, they have a chance to potentially be the best team in the NFC in these next couple of years. If Taylor Heineke becomes the GOAT, they probably will be. But moving on from William Jackson, which is the best signing in my opinion, you guys don't have to agree, you know, is Kenny Golladay. Kenny Golladay signed with the New York Giants, 4-year, $72 million deal. Amazing. I love this signing. Kenny Galladay's gotten over 1,000 yards the past 3 seasons, with Matthew Stafford being on and off, like that injury reserve, injury list, you know. When he's healthy, he does do good, though. Kenny Golladay is a straight beast, great route runner, has great hands. But for the New York Giants organization, if Daniel Jones doesn't show something special this year, when you have Sterling Shepard, Kenny Golladay, Saquon coming back, Andrew Thomas developed on the offensive line, Evan Ingram, that defense just got Adoree Jackson, too, with James Bradbury, Jabril Peppers. Everything about this team is good. If Daniel Jones can't show something, I'm sorry, but you have to get rid of him. As much as you like him, you just have to you have to have that quarterback in the league to take you far. As you can see with the Rams, they have everything but a quarterback with Jared Goff, or they did, and look where they sadly could not make anything of that. Hopefully they can do something with Matthew Stafford now, though. But with this Giants team, Daniel Jones doesn't do anything. Gotta boot him out of there. But this is a good pickup by the Giants. Helps them. They need dimes out a lot. Moving on to free agents number 3, my bad. John Johnson. 3 years, $33 million deal with the Cleveland Browns, $11 million per year. This Browns team, the only reason I don't see them like making that Super Bowl trip is because of the division. They got the Steelers, they got the the Ravens, they have the Bengals. They probably the hardest division in the league. This really helps out a lot. Their defense is already good, as long as Baker and Odell and Jarvis and all those guys keep as long as they keep going, developing as a team and that chemistry, I still see them going deep in the playoffs. This is a great pickup, straight up, just improving the defense. You gotta make your team better one way or another, and they did that this year. So other than that, I think they have an overall really good team and can make a good playoff push potentially. Number 4, I just have Shaquille Barrett. Even though it's a re-sign, signing back with the Buccaneers, 4 years, $68 million. He's a beast. Tampa Bay needed him. He was a leader on that defense. Nothing else more to say. He could potentially be even defensive player of the year. He's just straight amazing and a really good pickup or re-sign by the Buccaneers. Re-sign. Number 5, my 5th and last best signing of the NFL free agency so far is Will Fuller. Will Fuller of the Houston Texans, sadly, makes me cry a little bit, is going to the Miami Dolphins, 1-year, $10 million deal. Even though it's 1 year, this could potentially turn out to more depending on what he does this year. As you can see this year, what he did healthy, even though he had Deshaun Watson, the top 3 quarterback in the league, what he did healthy, he's always going to be the fastest guy on the field almost at all times. This guy's a beast. I don't know what to say. I'm kind of sad, not going to lie. I am sad, but this guy's a beast. He was probably going to get over 1,200 yards receiving if he didn't have that whole drug scenario and stuff like that. If Will Fuller doesn't get hurt or doesn't get involved with that doctor drug scenario again, he's going to be at least a top 20 receiver in this league, and that's what the Dolphins kind of need right now, especially with Tua. Get him Will Fuller, Devontae Parker, Mike Gesicki, get a couple running backs and offensive line. Well, if you get Will Fuller, Devontae Parker, some running backs, Mike Gesicki in there, good offensive line, and the defense, that's a filthy team, and that's a team in the future that could potentially be insane. Okay, here are my NFL free agents' worst signings. So these are the worst signings I think there are right now. Patriots, just straight up Patriots. Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. You guys both gave them huge money. These guys could both potentially be top 5 tight ends in the league. But you guys both gave them, I think the top 2 tight end deals are just these 2 guys, and they're on the same team. Yes, Cam Newton needs weapons, but you could have got out and got Kenny Golladay potentially for Cam Newton. I don't get why you need Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. They're both going to be fighting for spots, and they're going to collide heads. I just don't think it's going to work out. And the fact that you spent big money on both of them, you can't do that. Maybe Belichick's got something in mind and can prove me wrong. But as of right now, I don't think that's a good pick. I think maybe if you got one of them and then got a receiver like they did with Nelson Aguilar, or maybe if you got someone else like Kenny Golladay or something, or Will Fuller or something like that, But both of them, I don't see that working out. Second worst signing, Adoree Jackson with the New York Giants. You already heard me say that defense was filthy, and it still is filthy with the New York Giants. But the thing with this signing is that it was a 3 years, $39 million deal. I think Adoree Jackson, no disrespect to him, is amazing, but I don't think he's that big of money. They could have got at least something bigger out of that, I feel. Like, if they went out and got William Jackson for that money, all respect for that. But Adoree Jackson, he's kind of getting up there in age. He's super fast, don't get me wrong, super fast, and he has all the talent in the world. I just don't think he's worth that money. There's nothing else wrong with that. Maybe that he can prove me wrong and be like that top cornerback now with him and James Bradbury in that defense. He can prove me wrong, definitely. I feel like he can, and maybe will. But I think the only reason is because of the money. Nothing else with that. Number 3, Mitchell Trubisky. 1 year, $2.5 million deal with the Buffalo Bills. I'm sorry, but Mitch Trubisky, it's Mitch Trubisky. Especially behind Josh Allen. No offense, but I'm taking I'll take some old head bum that's 40 years old over Mitch Trubisky. I'm sorry. And I don't think Josh Allen's getting injured anytime soon, but you never know, obviously. I don't think Mitchell Trubisky should be in the league anymore, personally, but I don't 2.5 mil, come on now. I don't think that should ever happen in the first place, but hey, he can be a good backup. Maybe he's going to be like the nice Ryan Fitzpatrick. But other than that, it's Mitchell Trubisky. Come on, Bills. But you guys have a bright future. Just kind of slowed you down. No, I'm joking. But other than that, it's Mitchell Trubisky. Moving on to number 4, Curtis Samuel signing with Washington Football Team. Another big money player. 3 years, $34.5 million deal. It's the same thing with Adoree Jackson. These guys have all the talent in the world. Curtis Samuel's actually proved a lot this year, especially with the Bengals sharing the field with Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore. I think it's too much for him again. I think it's like the Adoree Jackson thing. I think it's too much. Especially, maybe you could have got him there if he got him for less if he had a good quarterback there. That could be a reason he wanted more money, because no offense, you don't know what's going to happen with Taylor Heineke, and they just signed Ryan Fitzpatrick. You don't know what's going to happen in that scenario. You don't know who's going to be good. You don't know who's going to be bad. But that's just Curtis Samuel. It's another thing. Just too much money can definitely prove me wrong. And yeah, another one. Kendrick Bourne. 3 years, $15 million deal. Kendrick Bourne. The other thing holding him back is injuries. He's Speedster could be the next Deshaun Jackson if he doesn't get injured and stuff like that. I think it's just, again, too much money. The NFL is just handing out money. They're just giving money to guys who aren't, to me, that good. Kendrick Bourne hasn't got over 1,000 yards in the past 2 seasons now. Because of injuries, of course. You can't say if he would have. If he was healthy, you can't say he wouldn't have if he was healthy, But 3 years, $5 million deal, I don't think that's a good signing. But, hey, yes, all these guys can prove him wrong, especially with Bill Belichick, Jonnu Smith, and Hunter Henry. But those are my top 5 worst and best ones. Moving on to my top 5 steals of the NFL free agency. Okay, here's steal number 1. Marvin Jones Jr. signed with the Jags 2 years, $12.5 million. Marvin Jones Jr. he's getting up there in age, but he's also a beast. Him and Kenny Golladay were insane. Probably the only thing going for that Detroit team for the past 5 years now, especially with Matthew Stafford being injured on and off. But he had that; those were the only 2 things going for him. Even though he's old, you got him for $6 million a year. That's really good money, and he could potentially be leading or at least mentoring Laviska Shenault and DJ Chark and stuff like that, at the very least. Number 2, I got Matthew Judon signing with the Patriots. 4 year, $50 million deal. That's some big money, but Matthew Judon, I think if he's sharing the field with other playmakers, like that defense on the Patriots is amazing, he can get some work done. And that's in a lackluster division. Outside of that, it's just the Patriots and Bills. And then, actually, no, you got the Dolphins. But I still think he's going to do some damage on that Patriots team. That's a good pickup for them. My third one is Desmond King. I'm a Houston Texans fan, so this maybe could be biased. But Desmond King, 1 year, $3 million deal. Desmond King's an all-pro cornerback. Last year, he got traded with Titans, so that's a whole new defensive scheme. Hopefully, Lovie Smith, our defensive coordinator, Houston Texans defensive coordinator, can get him in the right place so he can be his best player, Desmond King, in that all-pro cornerback conversation again. And $3 million a year. In 1 year, $3 million. So this could be a test process. That could be like the Will Fuller thing. If it works out, reach out him to some big money deal. And $3 million is not a lot, so I really like that pickup. Number 4, Corey Davis to the New York Jets, 3 years, 37.5. I love this pickup. I actually absolutely love this pickup. Corey Davis has got great hands. He can be the number 1 receiver on a team, in my eyes. He can be a potentially even top 10 receiver in the league. I don't know if I go that far, maybe top 15. But if they get a quarterback there in New York with Zach Wilson or Deshaun Watson or whoever they get, maybe even Sam Darnold, Corey Davis is going to ball out. And I think that was the exact right money you could have gave him. Maybe a little like 3 year, $30 million deal, but you got him there, and I love that. And number 5, the last steal, or I wouldn't say last steal, but my top 5 steal is Phillip Lindsey, Houston Texans again, $3.25 million. It's one of those processes again. This backcourt's insane with Mark Ingram, Phillip Lindsey, and David Johnson. All 3 of those guys could be beast and Pro Bowlers. Phillip Lindsey had one bad season, and he's super young still, so I love this pickup. And again, it's the 1 year thing, 1 year process. Oh, he does good, sign him back, big money, and he's cheap. So that's a really good pickup for the Houston Texans. Hopefully, if they can convince Deshaun to stay, they can have a good season. But other than that, there's still some free agents to be signed. There's still some big moves to be made. The draft's coming up. You don't know what's going to happen. All these guys have proved me wrong, proved me right, whatever it is. I'll see you guys next time, though, on the Buzzbeer Podcast. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and peace out.